All right, so this was on, I think, Saturday. Bungie did a big reveal, gameplay reveal, cinematic short. They invited a bunch of content creators that I guess have roots in Bungie and all their games. And they showed off the game, and they put together a creator alpha gameplay highlights with, Dr. Lupo and all these people playing the game. And experiencing it, but I'm not going to talk about that because there's not much there. Instead, they had a gameplay overview, I guess, for the rest of us. I'm searching for their channel to see what exactly. We got a gameplay reveal trailer and we got a gameplay overview trailer. But because they're so short, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, we'll go over those. But then I had to basically watch. What Bungie wanted me to watch was all the content creators that they invited out so that they could kind of control the message. So I watched a bunch of content creators. Some I actually really trust, and some are new ones that I don't know about that I think are big fans of Bungie and stuff. Wrote a bunch of notes and got an overall impressions of what Marathon is. So essentially, Marathon, they just revealed it, coming out
September 20.
Same day as Borderlands.
September 23rd. There it is, September 23rd. And it's Bungie's next big thing. As you know, Bungie was purchased by Sony for $3-point-something billion. And so they got a lot to live up to. And Destiny 2 has been going on forever, but it's not exactly user-friendly for new people to come in. I'm looking to see what's next. And here we go. Are we ready? Let's do it. Let's start with the gameplay reveal trailer that's only a minute long, and then we'll jump into the overview. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That's a lot of highlighter. Snipers. It kind of looks Apex Legends if a Office highlighter exploded in my oh jeez. Okay, we get, I don't know, the stealth person here. There's a Marathon shotgun right there.
The end of all things.
This is a new story.
My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
Who is speaking? Is that the AI perhaps from Marathon? What was it? Durenthal or something like that? Durnhall?
I'm not a big fan of the models.
No,
I don't like this art style.
Yeah, I was like,
I think pretty much every content creator was like, "Oh man, I love the art style." It's like, I think it looks like shit. It looks gross. Escape will make me unstoppable elite gun. But it's an extraction shooter. Another extraction shooter.
I do like me some extraction.
Look, it's the same thing. Now, don't show that.
but
Don't show
no.
the same animation that's gonna happen 5 times in a row. Yeah. Okay.
By the way,
little bit. Go
by
ahead.
the way, not for me.
Not
for
already,
me.
Joe.
Like I said, I do like extraction shooters, but I don't like the art style.
Yeah.
I don't like what they're going for.
I don't like it.
I
either.
don't.
Which
no.
is probably why we were not invited.
I'm an old fart.
No,
I
I
don't
just
like it.
I don't have any contact with
Don't like
Bungie.
it.
It looks terrible to me. I don't like the highlighter pixel look everywhere. It messes with my eyes. An extraction shooter with no single player, and it's not free to play? Are you fucking kidding me? It's a paid fucking, extraction
I'm
shooter.
definitely out. I'm definitely out.
I don't know, Bungie. And I have a bunch of other notes here. What did you think, Alex?
I'm hoping it's unfinished. I know the color palette.
It is unfinished,
but like the modern color palette is something that I never like, but I'll still play some of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it looked kind of rough, where it looked like it's kind of. It just didn't look right.
It's funny you say that because Skill Up was like, "Yeah, it's not there yet." And even the people that were positive about it are like, "It's not it's like really early, and Bungie wants the community to really help shape the game. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here with that. I don't like that they're gonna, and one of the feedbacks is, oh, I like it that they're working with the community and they're gonna build the game from the beginning, but I don't like that.
I don't. Yeah.
They're gonna build the game on the fly with their community. To be fair, everyone does that. So what is unique about that? Nothing.
It's unique because they're like, hey, give me your feedback, but also give me $40.
Me your money.
I won't take your feedback. That's give me $40.
That's what I wrote. It just means that you didn't put in a full effort up front. You have a solid concept, but then you get the players to build it for you, and you charge them to do it for you.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think it's just Sony made up nonsense because they shit the bed with Concord so badly that they don't want another. This should be a free to play game. It's not, right? So it's Sony, and it's going to cost $40. It's probably not going to be good enough for that, and Sony doesn't want to lose another $400 million.
Yeah.
And so this has to be successful. So I think that they're telling people, "Oh, we'll help you design it." It's like, are you really, or is the game for the most part kind of set in stone, other than the graphics?
Yeah.
And you're just saying that so the community doesn't turn on you.
And I've already seen like Hidden Xperia has given them several feedbacks, and apparently he's been playing the game for like 2 years. This is a lore channel, and he does good stuff. I like it. Go check it out. But even somebody as positive as him that wants to say good things about it has a lot of legitimate criticism that we'll get to here in a second. However, that's not the only thing they showed up. That was just the oh my God, is this legit? This is going over poorly. I did not. Nice. Okay. Wow, people are actually picking up on that. Man, Bungie loves using clips of characters shooting briefly at one target, swapping to a sniper, then taking a headshot. Yeah, Team Extract striking while the iron is dead cold, Bungie. And no, I'm not actually okay with them launching a minimum viable product. I think that's unacceptable. This studio is too big. It's too legendary a developer to be doing something like that. And it's not as if people who worked at Halo aren't working on this. In fact, Hidden Xperia in his video made sure to be like, oh, don't think that all the Halo people have left. No, there's so many people that worked on Halo Combat Evolved that's working on one after the other, showing them all. And so that, to me, to get us hyped for the game, and then you're telling me that the story isn't finished yet. They're going to kind of like write the story in between now and when the game comes out.
Yeah,
it doesn't even look like Marathon. If you've played Marathon in the past, there are aliens in it, and there's no aliens here. There's no 4. Where the fuck are the 4? And then, all right, but we're getting ahead of ourselves, so let's go to the actual gameplay overview trailer that they give to the rest of the people that didn't go to the, the event, because they got the hands-on with multiple gameplay, and you can watch their gameplay clips, but this is what we'll see here on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Bungie. See, it's like, I want to be excited. I want to be excited, but it looks so washed out and low poly, and I guess that's the purpose. I don't like the look.
They want it to run on everything.
It just doesn't even look like Marathon 2. This looks like shit! Look at it! Arena Breakout and some of these other extraction shooters that have been coming out that were made by mobile people look
is
better.
A team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4.
Tau Ceti 4.
You are a runner. A cybernetic mercenary
never been
who's given up
accused of
their
being a
human
runner.
form for a biosynthetic shell with unique
Joe hates
abilities
running.
and stats, capable of both tactical and
I can't
fast-paced
run.
combat.
No, I can't.
Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest.
So, God, I
You'll
like
face
quads,
wide
damn
runners
it. What are we,
in zones of up to
Apex
18
Legends now?
players,
I want
countless
quads, and I want
security
singles,
forces,
which is not in the game.
and otherworldly threats.
Just duos.
Otherworldly
Scavenge the
threats
remains of
is
a
a
lost
tease
colony
at
for
potential
glory and fortune.
aliens. So there's going to be plenty of like
Environments of
exploration
Tau 74
and
are filled with
keys and
weapons,
finding stuff
materials,
on the
and
map,
equipment you can
trying to
scavenge
get that
throughout
loot
the
I'm
map.
feeling.
not liking the maps though. It just
Yeah.
looks so bland.
Before deploying,
Besides
you'll
the
I don't like the
color.
character.
build
Yeah,
your
besides the
loadout
color, it
and
just
select
looks
a
so
runner
bland.
Why they got some
to
big
ensure
feet?
you're equipped for the run ahead.
That's skinny feet right there.
Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can,
And
make
get
it
out.
out alive.
And that's it. And that's your gameplay
Die.
loop. And then
All your gear will
after
be up for
seasons,
grabs.
all of your shit is
Survive.
wiped in your
Your
inventory.
loot can be taken into future runs as you grow.
I
in
don't think
power
Destiny players are
and
gonna
fill
like
your
that.
vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents. And in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
See, so some positive stuff here
And even if
is
you're
the
down on your
gunplay.
luck,
Yeah.
The gunplay
factions can
looks
sponsor you
good.
with a
It
fresh
looks like
loadout, so you can get right back
Bungie's,
into the fight.
patented.
Bungie brings its best-in-class
Feel.
first-person
Very
multiplayer
floaty.
action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay.
Though this isn't
Runners
really
with
showing it
unique
off very well.
playstyles and customizable builds
See,
create
they
highly
are-
dynamic and
Another
strategic
fucking arena
team
hero
fights.
shooter with different abilities.
Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll
How
need to
quick
use
are we
your
gonna
best
run out of our
judgment
starting
when you
weapons
decide
and
which
just
fights to
go
pick
in with knives
and
only?
how.
We suck at
Because
these,
no
so
matter
fight a
how
lot.
good
Paper
you are,
clips.
players
Without
with skill
Zero
and
or Flip Me or
strategy
somebody else
will
to help
always
us.
have the edge. Marathon is
Oh
designed to be
no,
played in
he did it
crews
to
with
pixels.
contextual pings,
Is this a
shared objectives,
simulation? Like what?
and down but not out to streamline
Yes, it
playing
is.
with your friends. Death is not the end.
Yes,
And if you're
you
the
already
last one
said that.
standing, you
In
can
a short-
overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot.
And then you just res right
If
there.
you believe your
That's the
skills alone
mechanic.
are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew
And then like
fill, to
jumping
take all
and
the
choosing a
glory
new
for yourself
location to
as a
tactically,
solo runner.
help your team.
No two runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll
variable
have to
weather.
adapt on the fly if you want to survive.
Stealth
Each run
guy.
has a time limit, and anything can happen while
There's,
you're
I
chasing your
guess,
objective.
your four, your aliens,
Looking
the
to unlock upgrades or increase your
ones that
faction reputation.
run at you and explode.
Slip into the shadows
Forget what they're called.
as void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered.
Oh, I
Want
hate
to
I
it.
push
don't
an
like
I hate
that
the
enemy to
look.
steal
character.
their loot?
Yeah.
That character
Bring in
model right
glitch.
there.
That reminds me of
Agility and
Ubisoft's
flight.
X Defiant with the skins on.
Disrupt rival crews.
So if
Run
your
support
default
your
game
friends,
looks like the
grab
shit
extra
skins
equipment,
from another
shield
game.
charges, and a specialized backpack.
I'll be medic.
will be the lifeline they
Don't worry, I
need.
got you, Alex.
I have so much faith in you.
Medic.
You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how
Oh,
you want to
really?
play
Thank
your
you. With
runner
only
is your
4
limited
runners right now,
imagination.
it's a lot of
Endgame
experimentation.
challenges, ranked play,
There's apparently
discovering
6.
secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4.
Yeah, but are the mysteries
Remember,
interesting?
you're only ever
To
one
me,
run
this world
away
looks a lot more
from the next
boring
big
than
score.
even Destiny did. And you're going to do the same storytelling, the bits and pieces through lore
Gotta latch 'em
searching.
on.
I hate that shit, man. And they said we have a story framework. I paused it. A story framework, and then we'll slowly, develop it along with it. It's like, oh God, not this shit again. That's Destiny 1 all over again. And only just now did they get their shit right with Destiny 2's story. September 23rd, 2025. So at least it's this month. This is probably the most scathing we've been, and I've been on a recent game reveal. I'm just not feeling it.
Me neither. How long do you think it's gonna last?
I think it might.
Sony has to push it super hard. They lost
Sony
too
will
much.
push it hard.
They lost too much money
Yeah.
with Firewalk and Concord. They're going to. The problem I think they're going to do is like Sony has a closed environment with their people, right? Like
Okay.
this is going to
Yeah.
cannibalize from Destiny, and it's going to cannibalize from their other live service games.
Yeah, but
'Cause
I think they're gonna the Destiny players will drop it and go back to Destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I just don't see Tarkov people dropping what they're doing to go play this, or the people playing the other free-to-play ones that honestly look more complete than this. This didn't give me enough information information. There's a chance that I'd want to play this. I need to know how many extraction locations there's going to be. I need to know the timings of things. What's the minimum that, you know, the free, they always give you free sad gear if you suck at the game. Like, that's going to be important for us while we learn the game. So, like, I need more of that information.
Yeah, so
for me also is like the $40 price tag already.
We don't know
we
that.
don't know
we know
the
that for sure.
exact
Well,
cost of the game. That was what Alex was suspecting, but it is paid. That's what we do know. So, good things. Gunplay. I've seen I have gone through the content creator videos, you know, Skill Up, Xperia, another one that has the robotic writing and stuff and matches the style of Marathon. And they all have really, really good things to say about the gunplay. And surprisingly, the AI of the PvE piece of shit enemies in the level. They're not dumbasses. They do provide a challenge. Though I'd like to see that for myself, because people always say that. Every single game's always going to say that, right? And then for me, that's kind of where the pros end. I wanted to add, Marathon's coming back, and this is a game where it's almost proto Halo. So many of the ideas was further iterated and developed and turned into Halo. You have, like, essentially the Covenant with this alien race collective called the Four, which is called the Four, and the alien race is also called the Four, but it has other alien races and stuff. And then you have AI and rampancy. You see how kind of that plays into what eventually happens in Halo. And so that shit is all fascinating and creative. And it was so leading up to this, because they were teasing at the gameplay reveal, I started going into the retrospectives for Halo. And I was watching a Marathon. I was watching some retrospectives. I'll link some below. And I was getting excited because the story is like, whoa, I'm discovering a whole new game that I didn't really get into much when it first came out. None of that! None of it! This new Marathon is pixel diarrhea here and generic fucking robots here, which, to be fair, the main character is kind of a generic robot, but there was story, there was aliens, there was, you know, intrigue. They even did some electric sheep shit in Infinity and stuff like that plays with those sci-fi concepts. And then what you have here is a extraction shooter, basically the most fucking cookie cutter, zero innovation. And then I was thinking, Bungie's gonna make extraction shooters big and fun and unique and have this really awesome twist to it. Where is the hook? There's no hook. It is literally the same thing, and they're even in the middle of writing the story. So I was really honestly disappointed.
I'm hoping it's gonna have some like good loot or make your character look cooler.
Right.
Something like
Hidden
that.
Xperia was saying, nah, Tarkov actually has better loot. I'm more excited because the stuff you're getting, he says the stuff you were getting, he didn't know what it did. You know, when you kill somebody, you take you take all their awesome shit, you know exactly what each thing is, and it's awesome. But here you get some pink gloop and you get some blue glop. I got the gloop and the glop. You know what I mean?
Rub it all over yourself.
You rub it on your whole body. Now, obviously, there's going to be weapons and shit, and that could be cool.
Yeah.
But remember, this is an extraction shooter with no single player, which already rubs me the wrong way. You guys are taking the lazy way out. You're taking the easy way out, and you're going to charge us up front. I get if it was free to play, but that's bullshit. And then we haven't even gotten into talk of microtransactions, but we'll talk about that in a second.
They're coming.
But it's just Marathon that barely feels like Marathon. The Four aren't even in it right now. They're trying to tease at him that there's a small little floaty guy maybe later on in the story. But it's somewhat of a hero shooter, though they're telling all of their influencers to downplay calling it a hero shooter, that their abilities, one goes invisible for a few seconds, one pops a bubble that pushes people, one does a shield. And they say, those abilities, they don't really affect gameplay too much. Then why the fuck are they there?
Invisible with a shotgun affects
Invisible?
gameplay, especially when the most important thing about the combat is you don't forever die, and you can be revived at any time as long as someone on your team's alive. Yeah. So being able to be a coward and go invisible.
And one of them is ping players, and you have pings on the map.
He's going to go invisible every firefight. You go, what happened? And then res us 5 minutes later.
So they have named characters with certain abilities. That's something unavoidable. It is, and there are 4 starter characters that the content creators got to play with: Agile, Stealth, Soldier, and Vigilante. I'll use some footage from other channels because that's basically how Bungie is forcing me into, everybody into. Let me pull up that. Okay, and then so one guy was like, well, there's 3 maps right now. And one map is barely finished. It's like an excavation kind of theme. And then the map that you see everybody's playing on, that's Tau Ceti. And then there's a third map where Hidden Xperia was like, oh, I can't tell you. And then one content creator's like, oh, here's the third map. It's like, I guess, content creators are all fucking it up. The third map is Marathon. And I don't think that guy was supposed to reveal it. But it's an amazing, like, oh, you get in the ship. Because it's like, well, how is this Marathon? Marathon's not even in Marathon. Well, yeah, it is. It's going to be one of the maps. Let's see. Oh, it's so funny. Hidden Xperia is the Lord channel that I was watching that got me all excited. And that's one of his criticisms, that it doesn't feel like Marathon. He was so excited because he knows all the lore. He knows all the alien types and all the creatures and enemies, and none of them are in there except for the little bugs that blow up, and then maybe the floaty guys.
Wait till season 7, Joe.
Right, where they slowly delve out the story through the fucking lore, bits that aren't even in the game. You remember Destiny? Don't make that same mistake in Destiny.
Paid expansions or
no,
yearly? No,
please no. No, they are doing. And what has me worried is the rarities. So you got gray, blue, purple, gold, like we're used to. And I was just worrying because Skillub was saying, or it was somebody that was saying that, they were doing several closed play tests, and it was feeling so boring and so empty without players. But when players come, that's when, it's so fun with players. Yeah, but that's every fucking game.
Yeah.
And of course it's going to be funny. But you're the UESC, or you're fighting against the UESC, soldiers, and the most we're going to get with the aliens is the SIFT compilers, maybe, but nobody actually saw one. Maybe they're kind of keeping that under wraps. But with players is fun, but so is with every action shooter. One guy was saying that you get a max 4 ticks of shield, because you know how that's why he said he was liking it to Apex Legends, because you loot, you level up, you get better weapons, you level your shields up to 4 ticks. There's no special ammo or anything like that. I was worried that they were going to be like golden bullets, microtransact, but no. It's very team play, and it's very Bungie, and since the time to kill is higher in Bungie games, that's both a blessing and a curse. I like higher time to kill. But when you consider that, let's say Joe goes down, Alex goes down, now it's all on me to fight 3 people, and it's much harder to do if I can't headshot them and outskill them, and it's just about numbers and how much health they have. But good players will be able to do it, as always. They were saying some of the most fun parts were these keys, right? Where you have these keys, if you really want to take these keys and extract with the keys. Because what do the keys do? Well, they lead to locked boxes and locked rooms.
That's in every...
Ooh!
Every
wow!
shooter has these things, yeah.
What an innovative mechanic. They say,
These
there's
are different keys.
Different keys, yeah.
They're keys spelled with a Z. No, there's puzzles on the maps for loot. So like there's numbers where you got to put in, go search for the numbers, or you go to one terminal and then the terminal signals to everybody that you're at the terminal, and then you have to fight off people, including maybe other teams, and then you'll get something. But I mean, none of this is, innovative. And so I was wondering, what's Bungie's next big game after Destiny? What's worth the $3.8 billion that Sony bought them for? And so far, it's not worth it. Marathon had a lot of dual wielding. I didn't see any dual wielding in any of the footage. I could be wrong on that. They do have the Marathon shotgun, which was OP in Marathon, so that'll be fun for fans. But so I'm a little disappointed with it, as you can tell. And then even some of these people went into their personal cons. Since they got more time with the game, I'll convey them to you. This is stuff that even the most positive people, Hidden Xperia says there's no customization. It's huge. You just have to fall in love with these awful looking. This is my own editorial. You have to fall in love with these awful looking runners, right? And I'm shocked because Bungie has always had customization, individual armor pieces.
Well,
None of that.
That's what I was saying, though.
Sony's gonna sell it for sure.
That's what it is. So you will get skins that you can buy, but the skins are all one-piece skins. You can't like mix and match even your skins. Even when you're paying for it, you can't really customize.
That's what I was hoping
your
for in this game. So I could collect some cool armor
Right.
and like
Right. No.
unique.
For money.
I wanna be
I'm
unique.
almost out just for that. You gotta do something. They
look
gotta
like everyone
change.
else.
And it, like I said before, it doesn't seem innovative at all. But let me skip down below to the other actual criticisms. Let's see. SkillUp was pretty critical that it's paid, right? He thinks it's an extremely bad idea because what are you getting at launch? You're getting 6 runners, so 6 characters. You fucking compare it to something like Marvel Rivals where you get 30 plus and these other games that have way more than that. So 6 characters, 3 maps, and 1 new map later in the first season. That's what you're asking people to pay for? And when all your alternatives are free, charging people an entry fee into this, it seems like bullshit. Let's see. There's no campaign. There's a lack of 4. It's only trios. There's no singles. Hidden Experience really wanted. He's like, I don't always have 2 friends that always come with me and everything. And so it would be good if they added a singles mode. I've been telling them for 2 years. They don't really listen, so they want trips. Does everyone who wants to play Marathon have 2 friends that are always play together in trios? There's no player market, Hidden Experience said, so determining the value of some of these items that you're getting in loot is going to be completely up to the game. Another annoying thing is you can't take attachments off guns, so if you find a gun, you find a cool attachment, you put it on there.
Who did this? Joe again?
Wait a minute, right? What game was that? We made fun of that.
Game?
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood. We can't rip the fucking attachment off. We're just gonna reuse that fucking parody when the shit comes out. He said
Just super glue this.
a long time ago there was a super expensive item that you can use to then apply to take it off, but then they got rid of that. And in this version, yeah. There's no social area. Surprised another content creator because they're thinking Bungie and you're gonna get loot and all this loot is gonna be cool, and then in social areas you'll show off your loot and do stupid
nice
dances.
hubs.
None of that.
No
It's
hubs.
literally just menus. Then you go into the extraction, and then you extract, and it's back to menus, and it's like, what?
I imagine that's going to change.
We're going backwards, but they didn't even say they had plans for that. But maybe it will change.
That's
with
a money
player
thing, and
feedback.
Sony doesn't screw with the money.
Yeah. So really, it just seems like a copycat of the genre right now, and a little late as people on YouTube were commenting. Every season, all your shit is wiped. Your entire arsenal is deleted every 3 months. That's going to piss off Destiny players that have stuff from 6 years ago still in their inventory.
To keep it fresh, Joe.
Right. And to me, what I heard from most people, I was getting boring activities. You got the numbers that you search for. You got the wait at a signal area and fight incoming teams. And then there's bosses sometimes. But somebody said that boss dies too quickly. And there's basically just too much busy work on the map instead of fighting other players. But when you fight other players, that's when it's fun. SkillUp was thinking, he thinks Hunt Showdown, from what he was saying, Hunt Showdown is better. It's more cohesive. It's tighter design. And yeah, but anyways. And ultimately, I just kind of want to end with, no. I'm actually not okay with them launching a minimum viable product. The reason why I say it like this is SkillUp is like, I'm okay with them releasing a minimum viable product. I said, no, I'm not okay with them releasing a minimum viable product. I think it's too big a studio and too legendary a developer to be doing that. And I already went over that in the beginning. So that's pretty much all the information. Go ahead.
I mean, there's some pretty important information that we don't have. I want to know what the pay for convenience things are going to be, because there's always lock boxes, there's always increased stash tabs, and all these other things that they're going to charge for, and they always charge for. The difference is this is not a free-to-play game, so I need to know what they're going to be doing, because if it's a pain in the ass for me to give you $40 and then it's like, oh, hey, you're going to lose absolutely everything, and then like someone over there dropped $200 and they've got a giant chest they get to save all the stuff when they die. It's like, I need to know that kind of stuff before.
Yeah, and I'm almost certain it's going to be disappointing at launch. There's no doubt about it to me. No narrative that's really written, many of them were saying. It's got the framework written, and they're writing it right now. And they're going to use the found lore approach, is what they said to the content creators, and that failed horribly with Destiny and Destiny 2. It was such a sticking point for me. I hate that. And they've had 300 developers working on this for over 4 years of work, and this is what they have. A minimum viable product that they're going to launch, and it's not going to be free to play. They're going to charge you up front for so little, 6 guys and 3 maps. Are you fucking kidding me? And I think that's what people are picking up on, and that's probably why it's downvoted, regardless of how many content creators are out there speaking, praising it and saying that they had fun. But no, because even them are like, well, there's some problems here. So I think it's kind of a sad day for Bungie, because I think they think that this is their new hotness and the next big Destiny, and it doesn't look like it. This looks like something that you'd play for a little bit and then move on from, and they string you along. No, but the aliens are coming. Oh, no, look, an alien spawned on the map, and now you can read about the
dailies and get some cool stuff.
Right. There's challenges. I've seen the challenges in some other content creators. There was like, kill 5 of the stupid NBCs walking around and stuff, and it's like, so people are going to be doing those challenges rather than fighting each other and then just extracting right away. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is, how in extraction shooters and even in Warzone and stuff, when one of your guys dies, you have to pay for them. You have to have some kind of cost. There's a resource, and then you have to find a particular area to call them back in, and there's some strategy and there's some tactics with that. In this game, when you shoot somebody and they get downed, they're not dead yet. Even if you fucking stab them, and you saw them stabbing in the trailer several times, and they die instantly right there, they're still not dead. So design choice doesn't make sense. Then they leave a bag on the ground, and then any one of your allies can then stand on that bag, wait a certain amount of time, and then you just materialize right there on that bag.
Well, I'm gonna stand next to the bag and go stealth and wait for them to come.
So we're gonna that is
not allowed.
That is a tactic where you kind of would not do the bags, just wait until they're downed and then bait the people over, as in every other extraction shooter. But still, I don't know, so much of it seems lazy and bare minimum, and
still needs more time.
I think what a lot of the content creators were saying is they love the visual design and this looks so great, and not me.
Doesn't.
I think it looks like shit. And I hate exploding pixels when you die. I hate the visual diarrhea and the exploding office highlighters. I'm not, yeah.
I think it would have been awesome 4 years ago. I think they're just kind of late to the party, and we've seen other people do things for cheaper and more finished, and I don't know. That's probably why I'm not impressed by it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. That's our, unfortunately, really brutally honest and somewhat negative opinions on the Marathon reveal. I guess all of this is going to change because, you can't criticize it because we're going to develop the game as it comes out with you guys. Fuck off. All this is going to change and get better. No, I want a fucking vision. I want a fucking completed product. I want to do it right the first time. I don't want you to fuck it up and for us to all be excusing you and fixing it for you and all that shit again. I don't want that, and the minimum viable product, one extraction mode that's been around for years, and you're not doing anything innovative or Bungie about it. Nah, fuck off. So thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you to some of the content creators whose footage I used. I think SkillUp will be okay with it. Hidden Xperia, thank you. And anybody else that I used footage from, Rilo or anybody else, please don't copyright claim me or come after me. But we're just showing off what we've seen. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.